Lady Gaga does a few things so differently, most people barely notice. Most people know Lady Gaga put on a spectacular show at the Paris Olympics. It was another unforgettable success, but only few people know what happens behind the scenes.
Paranoia, fear, alcohol.
From her early days of fame to now, Lady Gaga does a few things so differently that most people barely notice. No, it's not her bold and outrageous outfits that make her so magnetic. It's these subtle habits.
Thanks for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
That's the first hint. Say thank you. But not simply just say or pronounce the words. When Lady Gaga says it, she really means it. Every single interview I've watched, she expresses a genuine thanks a ton of times.
Thank you so much for having me. Welcome. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Whether she accepts an award or enters a room, begins an interview or ends an interview, when she says thank you, it feels heartfelt. It feels real, genuine, authentic, even personal. And that's the first habit. Whenever we're in a conversation, whether it's at work or at home, with family or with friends, just saying thank you, it's such a small gesture with a huge impact. And it gives us presence and confidence. Moving on, Lady Gaga goes beyond the thank you.
I gotta say, I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so very grateful. And thanks for having me again.
She consistently shows her gratitude towards her fans, towards the person who's interviewing her, towards all the people that are constantly supporting her, and she means it.
I just really love my fans so much, and I'm really grateful. I thank God every day. I'm just so blessed.
Yeah. And gratitude is such an easy way to make people like you, because when you express gratitude, you make people feel good about themselves. But also, when you express gratitude, it shifts the dynamic and it makes us seem more grounded and approachable. Here's another example.
I look up to you so much, so thank you for having me.
Thank you. Wow, that's it. It's very sweet. Yeah, I heard you said something nice in an article about me, and I appreciate it. I don't know what you said.
Well, you're just such an inspiration for women and for the gay community, and I always want to cry.
And I thought I liked you before, now I like you more.
And I am very deeply grateful. If you can just hit the like button and the subscribe if you haven't done so already, thank you so much. The third habit that makes Lady Gaga stand out is her ability to compliment the other person, and not just giving a compliment.
Not anyone trying to convince me. I mean, he really fought for me, and you can have 100 people in the room that are watching you and 99 don't believe in you, and one does, and that was him. So.
Not only is the movie great, your obviously singing is great, but your acting is so natural and effortless, and it almost looked like there was no script. It looked like you were just kind of having a conversation, and there couldn't have been more, like no take was the same. That's how it felt.
You know, that is 100% a testament to Bradley as an incredible filmmaker, an incredible director, an incredible singer. I'm sure you can all agree.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga takes complimenting to another level. I mean, take a look at the following clip. She's sitting in the Graham Norton show and she's complimenting Graham for giving her fan a voice.
I love you, Zachary. I love you. I love you. I watch you all the time.
Gaga. I love you, baby.
Well, thank you.
Bye-bye, Zachary. You love me, man. Bye-bye. Oh, what a nice man.
No, you're a nice man. I'll tell you why. Because you're giving them a voice, and that's what this is all about for me. You gave him his moment. Thank you.
You see, in one go, she not only makes Graham feel, do I say it right? Graham, right? She makes him feel great, but also her fan. When you recognize the value in others, you not only make them feel great, you recognize them, but you also show confidence and charisma. One of her greatest strengths is vulnerability. And in this next clip, it's one of her darkest moments in her life where she was raped. And she's sharing that story.
They didn't stop asking me, and then I just froze and I don't even remember. People feel really comfortable with this, and I do not. I I do not ever want to face that person again.
Lady Gaga is not afraid to talk about her struggles, her challenges, her mental health, her insecurities.
Paranoia, fear, alcohol, drugs, anxiety, body pain, feeling unsafe in my own body.
It's that vulnerability that makes her so admirable, but also relatable. And if we have conversations and we can share, be more vulnerable, and we don't have to overshare. We don't have to go to the darkest moments in our lives. It depends who you're talking to, but it really creates a connection with that person. I mean, just yesterday, somebody was asking, I don't know her that well yet, but she was asking how I have been the last few months. And I said, it's been ups and downs. I've had some challenges with my family and some insecurities, and I just shared a few things. And she completely opened up to me, and she said, wow, I'm so happy you're sharing this because I've been going through this and this and this. So she was sharing about her own insecurities and challenges, and it just opened up a whole other level of conversation behind the, everything's fine. How have you been? Oh, I'm just fine. Being more vulnerable in our conversations, it builds trust and it shows inner strength. As Brené Brown said, vulnerability is not a weakness. It actually is a sign of courage and confidence. Here's another interesting habit that you can test right away. And it's the most subtle habit that most people miss. Check out this next clip and try to notice her tone of voice. Let me put it that way.
I mean, I guess when you're acquainted with that world and you love the art of darkness, which is something that I find fascinating, it's not for everybody, but, I imagine I would have been, one of Hitchcock's groupies, I just love it so much. I find it so interesting. And the dichotomy of, sex and horror at the same time.
When she speaks, she lowers her tone of voice. She slows down her pace when she wants to make a point. And it really lands. And that's the trick. It's something I've done another video on, specifically about showing all the research behind it. When you use this low radio FM voice, it shows more confidence. You really make your message land. You really are able to attract and captivate attention and make people listen to you.
Thanks.
People are going to love it.
Thank you. I worked really hard on it, and I've completely committed to the role, and I'm not doing anything else while I'm doing Horror Story. I'm doing the entire season. I really take it seriously. I went to acting school for almost 10 years growing up.
On the other hand, if you have a higher pitched tone and you end your sentences like this,
fine, because I am. Huh? Aren't you? Aren't you? Who else is fine?
It signals nervousness. But when you lower your tone of voice and you really make a point and you want to be taken seriously, this tone of voice and also slowing down and posing and pacing at the right time, it shows confidence and control. Try it out. The next time you have a conversation or you have to present something, try it out, the lower radio FM voice. Now, before sharing one more thing, I want you to comment below. What is the habit that attracts you? What is a habit that maybe you will start implementing more? I'm really curious to read your comments. The one thing I want to add is that these are all examples that I hope are helpful to create more confidence, be more likable, relatable, charismatic. And it's great to see examples of what to do. But I personally learn a lot from examples of what not to do. And so if you watch the next video, you will radiate 1000% of confidence and charisma because you're going to combine what to do and what not to do. I'll see you in that video.